Good morning, everyone. Today, our topic is thermal properties of matter. So, the basic concept, basic terms that has to be used in it is heat and temperature. So, what is heat? Heat is the form of energy which produces in us the sensation of warmth. Like when you touch a hot cup of tea, you can feel its warmth. That is your heat. And how to measure heat? For that, we use the quantity, the physical quantity which is used to measure the heat, that is temperature. And for example, temperature of boiling water is 100 degrees Celsius. So to measure the heat associated with boiling water, we measure the temperature of the boiling water. Similarly, temperature is not always like it is the measure of hotness. Temperature is also the measure of coldness. For example, in the cold regions, the temperature is negative, like minus 15 degree temperature, minus 10 degree temperature, minus 11 degrees. So temperature is actually the measure of hotness as well as coldness. So the negative temperature means how cold is the object, and positive temperature means how hot is the object. And temperature is measured by the device that is called thermometer. So there are different types of thermometers: clinical thermometer, lab thermometers that you have done in lower classes. Nowadays there are digital thermometers also. So there are different types of thermometers. So we have to not do those things in detail. The only idea is you should aware of what is heat, what is temperature. Now our first topic regarding this is thermal properties of matter is thermal expansion. Thermal means heat. Expansion means when the dimensions of any object increases. Okay, that means it expands. So thermal expansion is of three different types. One is your linear expansion. Another is your superficial expansion. Third is your volumetric expansion, or it is cubical expansion, when volume expands, because it's clear from its name. Linear expansion. So first we'll talk about linear expansion. For each expansion, we will calculate the coefficient of that expansion. Like coefficient of linear expansion, we'll calculate coefficient of superficial expansion, we'll calculate coefficient of cubical expansion. Now what is linear expansion? Let us consider a rod initially having length L. Now on heating, its length increases by delta L. Like this was its length L. On heating, its length increases to L dash, because solids or metals, they expand on heating. Now what is increase in length? Delta L. This will be equals to L dash minus L. This is the increase in length. Now as per observation, experimental observation, this increase in length, it is proportional to the original length. This increase in length is proportional to change in temperature. How much temperature we have raised here. So when we combine these two factors, delta L is proportional to L into delta T. Removing this proportionality sign, there comes a constant called alpha. So it is alpha L into delta T. This alpha is called coefficient of linear expansion. So how to define this alpha? Alpha is delta L divided by L into delta T. So what will be the definition? It is increase in length or change in length per unit original length per degree rise in temperature. Alpha is the ratio of increase in length to the original length per degree rise in temperature. That is called your coefficient of linear expansion. And from here it is clear that what will be the units? Say meter and meter get cancelled with each other, and delta T, SI unit of temperature is Kelvin. So units of coefficient of linear expansion is Kelvin inverse or Celsius inverse, whatever units you want to take. Okay, so these are the units of alpha, coefficient of linear expansion. Further, again coming back to this equation, we can write delta L as L dash minus L. It is equal to alpha L delta T. So we can write L dash as L plus alpha L delta T. Now here means the new length, the changed length, it will be equals to L into 1 plus alpha delta T. This is another relation, like new length, the changed length is L into 1 plus alpha delta T. So this is all about linear expansion. Now coming next to superficial expansion. superficial expansion means when the area of object increases on heating. For example, you consider a metal sheet. When you heat it up, its area increases. This is a thin metal sheet. When we heat it up, its area increases. Initial area is suppose A, and the changed area means this one, the bigger one, this area is say A dash. So what will be increase in area? Delta A, that will be A dash minus A. This is increase in area. So again, experimentally it was observed that increase in area, it is proportional to original area, and increase in area is proportional to rise in temperature. So when you combine them, delta A is proportional to A into delta T. Removing this proportionality sign, now the constant is beta. Beta A into delta T. So this is called coefficient of superficial expansion. Okay, this is coefficient of superficial expansion. Okay, now here how to define beta? Beta will be delta A over A delta T. Means it is the ratio of change in area or increase in area over original area per degree rise in temperature. So this is your beta, means coefficient of superficial expansion, ratio of increase in area over original area, that is the surface area basically, per degree rise in temperature. So its units are also same, Kelvin inverse or Celsius inverse. So you can use either units. This is your coefficient of superficial expansion. Further, again coming back to this equation, here delta A can be written as, see delta A, it is A dash minus A. So A dash minus A is actually equals to beta A delta T. So we want to find the expression for A dash. A dash will be A plus beta A delta T. You can take A common, so 1 plus beta delta T. So this is easy to remember, that new area will be this. Okay, this is for superficial expansion. You can use the symbol S instead of A. Surface area, you can use the symbol S instead of A. In some of the books, you may find the symbol S also. Now third is your cubical expansion. Cubical expansion, it is clear from the word that it is related to the volume. So whenever volume of the object increases on heating, like suppose this is the solid cube. When you heat it up, its volume increases. It expands. Initial volume is V and the volume of the dotted cube is say V dash. So what is rise in volume? That is V dash minus V. Again experimentally it was observed that delta V is proportional to V. Delta V is proportional to delta T, rise in temperature. So combining these, again delta V is proportional to V delta T. By removing this proportionality sign, again a constant say gamma V delta T. This gamma is called coefficient of cubical expansion. So again you can define it in the same way, that now you will tell me this definition, you will WhatsApp me this definition, what is gamma? Equals to, gamma is delta V over V delta T. Units will be same, Kelvin inverse or Celsius inverse. Okay, just let me know what is its definition. So from the formula, you can tell the definition what is gamma. Okay, so you will WhatsApp me this, its definition. Now you have done, again coming back to this equation, delta V is V dash minus V, which is equal to gamma V delta T. So V dash will be V plus gamma V delta T. So V dash will be V, take V common, 1 plus gamma delta T. So here new volume will be V into 1 plus gamma delta T. So this is gamma is coefficient of cubical expansion. So what we have done, coefficient of linear expansion, alpha we have calculated, change in length over original length per degree rise in temperature. Coefficient beta called coefficient of superficial expansion, that we have done, it is change in area over original area per degree rise in temperature. And then similarly there is gamma. So you will give me this definition during the class only. And after that, what is the relation between alpha, beta and gamma? So when you have to derive relation between alpha, beta and gamma, for that alpha is coefficient of linear expansion, beta is coefficient of superficial expansion and gamma is coefficient of cubical expansion. I will derive the relation between these two and you have to derive the relation for these two. Now see how to derive. We know that volume V dash, new volume, it is given by V into 1 plus alpha delta 1 plus gamma delta T. Okay, this is the volume increase in cube. What is the linear expansion? Length increase, L dash will be L into 1 plus alpha delta T. Okay, now volume increase, like if we do the cube, L dash cube, volume of the cube is A cube. So when we take cube on both sides, it is L cube 1 plus alpha delta T whole cube. Now here L dash cube means this is V dash. It is equal to L cube means this is original volume. Now here you can use Bernoulli's theorem directly, that this delta T, if rise in temperature is very small, alpha is small, then this 3 will come over here. According to Bernoulli's principle, like 1 plus x raised to power n, if this x is less than 1, then this is nearly equal to 1 plus nx. ये वाली power आगे आ जाती है 1 plus nx. So here you will apply that. You will write here it will be 1 plus 3 alpha into delta T. Now comparing this equation and this equation. Comparing these two equations, say equation number 1, this is equation number 2. When we will compare it, say V dash, that is same get cancelled, V and V get cancelled. Like when you compare it, it will be V into 1 plus gamma delta T. It is equal to V into 1 plus 3 alpha delta T. So V and V get cancelled. So you will get 1 plus gamma delta T. It is equal to 1 plus 3 alpha delta T. So 1 and 1 get cancelled. Then it is gamma delta T is equal to 1 and 1 get cancelled. How they get cancelled? 1 udhar jaake minus 1 ho jayega. So it will become 0. So gamma delta T is 3 alpha delta T. Then delta T and delta T get cancelled. So gamma is 3 into alpha. Or we can write that alpha is gamma divided by 3. Okay, this is the relation between alpha and gamma. Similarly, you can derive the relation between alpha and beta. So I'll just give you a hint how you will do. You will start beta from here. Beta is coefficient of superficial expansion. So we know area A dash is A into 1 plus beta delta T. And we can write also area in terms of length L dash. If you will do L dash square, we know L dash is 1 plus L into 1 plus alpha delta T. So L dash square will be L square into 1 plus alpha delta T whole square. Again using Bernoulli's, ये 2 कहाँ पे आएगा? And then solve it. L dash square will be A dash, L square will be A. So after that solve it, find the relation. What is the relation between alpha and beta? So whatever be the relation, from there find the value of alpha. What will be the value of alpha? So in the end we can write what is the relation between these three. Alpha is equal to gamma by 3, and here whatever you will find out you will write here. Ki beta say what is the relation. So this is the relation between these three quantities. Okay, this is all about thermal expansion. Now what are the practical applications of thermal expansion? Like I'll give you 1 or 2 examples. So rest you will read the conceptual question where all the examples will be given to you. For example, there is always a gap between the rail tracks. You all must have seen the side tracks, railway tracks, they have a gap between the iron tracks. One track is like this and then there is little bit gap. So why this gap is kept? This gap is kept because of summers metal expands. So when it will get expands, then they'll exactly join each other. If there is no gap, then what will happen? The track may bend. Agar wo bend kar jayega, then the train may not run properly on it. That is why this gap is always there. Okay. So if this gap is to make them safe, that even if they expand, they will not bend each other. Similarly, like when the wooden wheels are used, over the wooden wheel, like suppose this is the wooden wheel and you have to fix a metal ring over this wooden wheel. You want to fix the ring made up of metal over this wooden wheel. This is your wheel, wooden wheel. So how that ring will be fixed exactly means tightly over the wooden wheel. What happened first? This iron ring, the outside ring, this is heated. When you heat it, this ring expand, its size increases. Then this wood ring, the rim that will be fit into the metal rim, and then when it is fit into the metal rim, after it is getting cool down, then it is exactly fixed over that wooden rim. It can tightly be fitted over that wooden rim. So whenever you have to fix means you will expand that by heating, and then you can fit the thing. Similarly, like when these corks, they get jammed in the glass bottles, then how to take them out? Just heat the neck of the bottle, the glass expands and the cork can be taken out. So these are the examples of thermal expansion. Okay, now when thermal expansion, this is about solids. When we study expansion of liquids, for example, you want to see how much the water has expanded. So for that, you need to take a container in which you heat up the water. So you cannot heat up water all alone, you need a container. So actually, the real expansion of water, that will be equal to, suppose we are considering the cubical expansion of water, the cubical expansion of water, the real expansion, that is actually equal to the apparent expansion of water which we are studying, how much water has expanded, apparent, plus cubical expansion of the glass also, the container also. If it is made up of steel, so it is cubical expansion of steel. If it is made up of glass, if we consider that this is glass, so here cubical expansion of glass also has to be taken into account, because a real expansion will be expansion of water which appeared to be expanded plus expansion, cubical expansion of glass, the container in which that water is taken. Okay, so this is your expansion for water or any liquid. So here gamma R is called, gamma R will be equal to real increase in the volume over original volume per degree rise in temperature. Gamma A will be, it is apparent increase in volume, that is basically volume of water per unit original volume per degree rise in temperature. And gamma G is obviously coefficient of cubical expansion of glass. So actually all the liquids, they expand on heating, but only water shows anomalous behavior. Anomalous means different type of behavior is shown by water. When you heat up the water, initially it contracts, its volume, it shrinks, its volume shrinks. So that is at 4 degrees Celsius, its volume is minimum. So when you heat up the water, its volume decreases. At 4 degrees Celsius, the volume become minimum. And then after that, when you keep on increasing the temperature, volume increases. So here side we have taken the volume, suppose. Here we have taken the temperature. As we increase the temperature, volume decreases, and up to 4 degrees Celsius. This happens up to 4 degrees Celsius, the volume decreases, and after that volume keeps on increasing. Now how volume and density are related? We know density is mass over volume. So if volume decreases means density increases. So what happens if we draw the same type of graph for density? Here we have taken density, here we have taken temperature. So if you will draw the same graph for density and temperature, so up till 4 degrees Celsius, the density of water become maximum, because volume is minimum, so density become maximum. So density of water is maximum at 4 degrees Celsius, and after that its density keeps on decreasing, because as volume increases, density decreases. Now this thing, that density of water is maximum at 4 degrees Celsius, that is, it is 1000 kilogram per meter cube. This concept means this anomalous behavior of water is very much useful for the marine life. How it is very much useful for the marine life? Like in cold regions, when water is frozen over the surface of lake, here is the frozen water, but inside that lake the temperature is maintained at 4 degrees Celsius. So what happens, since water exists, water has maximum density at 4 degrees Celsius, so water remain in liquid state at 4 degrees Celsius, and hence the marine life can easily exist in it. they can easily move into it without being freezed. So this anomalous behavior of water is very much helpful for the existence of marine life. So this is all about today's topic. We have done thermal expansion of solids, thermal expansion of liquids, and in that anomalous behavior of water. Okay, read the conceptual question, and whatever work is assigned to you within the video, do that work and send me the same on WhatsApp as individual messages. Whenever you see this video, please write your name in comment section so that we come to know that you have seen this video. Thank you everyone.